Alright, I'm going to do my best today to keep a very calm and even cadence as we talk about this yo-yo we've been through in the last 2 weeks of the State of the Crucible, where last week we got Eruption, a new game mode, a brand new game mode that was so well received, it created one of the best Iron Banners possibly of all time, to the point where no one missed Trials not being there on the weekend. Everyone was thoroughly entertained, having a great time with Eruption, and you know, things were going good. It was like Crucible was fun again for a week and everything felt positive and great and awesome. And then this week's reset hit and Bungie promptly did a classic one step forward off of a cliff. Now, obviously what I'm talking about is the implementation suddenly, without warning, of the competitive quitter penalty into the control playlist. I'm going to say that again, the competitive quitter penalty into the quick play control playlist to alleviate the issue of people leaving matches. Now listen, I've talked about it. I think that the quitter problem is a thing that is worth looking into solving. But my whole thing was, we should go about solving it by fixing some of the actual pain issues, like issues with the skill-based matchmaking implementation, map priority, the map queue, the map quality, maybe adding in rotational game modes into quick play to add more variety. Those things would help naturally alleviate people's wanting to leave matches so they find better environments. But instead, we're just going to go ahead and turn quick play into comp light, which obviously the meme for years has been that quick play is the quick play world championships, the quick play tournaments, you know, playing for your god, family, mother, brother, country. But now it's real, because leaving can mean you're going to be restricted not only from control, but also competitive as well. And my problems with this system are twofold. One, it wasn't in the patch notes. The hotfix that dropped on reset, no mention of it. It was just in the game, in the wild. There was no confirmation by any of the community managers, any developers. In fact, the first proper confirmation that the quitter penalty was implemented into control was when the Bungie Help Twitter account the other day tweeted out that they were temporarily disabling it to go with the week-long background maintenance, which was going to increase the amount of error codes going around. Which to me should be a red flag in and of itself, because if you're that worried about people getting false bans because of background maintenance, maybe the system is a little too strict to begin with, but hey, you know, whatever. That's just me. The reason we didn't talk about this sooner, like when it happened on reset, was, well, I assumed it was a bug. I thought this was not meant to go live because it has the competitive banner to it. It doesn't even let you know this is about control specifically when you get a quitter penalty. And because it hadn't been mentioned in the patch notes, I was like, okay, maybe this is just like, you know, an accidental thing. It got turned on by mistake, whatever. Things happen. Bungie will maybe turn it off or let us know, and then things will be fine. So I wanted to at least wait until today, Thursday, the TWAB day, to see what Bungie were intending with the system. And the TWAB is out. I'm reading about 5 minutes after it came out. And not only was the quitter penalty an intentional implementation, they are working to separate the shared penalties between control and competitive. So the quitter penalty is here to stay. And Bungie wants to be the chief way to discourage people from leaving matches. Okay, I'm going to say this in the calmest way I can, because this truly frustrates me to a level that I can barely handle. Right? I understand and expect a quitter penalty in a competitive game mode. I expect it in Trials, I expect it in Comp, and I expect it in Elim, because there is competitive rank points, there's trial rewards, there's flawless tickets on the line. When there's something at stake, it makes sense to punish people for leaving a match early, especially in an activity that does not re-add people into the queue. It does not fill missing slots in the middle of the game, right? Trials does not fill your missing teammate. Elim does not fill your missing teammates. Control does. It is a casual quick play mode, and just like every other casual quick play mode and every other FPS game since the dawn of time, why would you punish players for dropping in and out instead of just backfilling lobbies when people leave? And listen, no one likes to be dropped into a game in progress. Sure. That's not ideal. It is still more ideal than punishing people who leave casual game modes, because you don't know why people are leaving. They could be leaving because they want to go play competitive with a friend. They could be leaving because they have something they have to go do. They could be leaving to go play another game mode. It doesn't matter. They don't have to have a reason that justifies why they are leaving when the game mode is not something that puts something at stake. It's control. It's quick play. Yes, leaving affects the quality of the lobby for everybody else. However, that is just an assumed risk you take when you play this or any other casual game mode. Go play Call of Duty. People are going to drop out of lobbies. Go play Battlefield. People are going to drop out of lobbies. Go and play Counter-Strike. Go boot up casual Counter-Strike, like a deathmatch, or just casual, non-ranked Counter-Strike, and people will drop in and out. That is just a fact of life. Why are we punishing that in the casual playlist? I don't even mind the concept of having skill-based matchmaking in a casual playlist. I understand, in theory, the benefit of that system. But this makes no sense. The quitter penalty makes 0 sense. It just objectively hurts everybody. And the fact that we did not know this was even coming until it was dropped on us unceremoniously is frankly unforgivable. This is one of the worst lapses in communication that Bungie has ever experienced. This is a major shift to how we approach playing the game, because if I get error coded, if my internet drops, if I just have to go do something, now I have to worry about a stupid quitter penalty. In casual! Not to mention, this has been overwhelmingly negatively received. Why is Bungie not taking this negative feedback into account? This has been a consistent problem this season, with them trying to justify skill-based matchmaking in previous TWABs with the player base being higher at the beginning of the season, which is a fact at the beginning of the season. Bungie are trying to contort themselves into thinking these changes are good for the game when the overwhelming feedback is negative, and I don't understand it. It feels like we're dealing with two development teams. There is a development team that's like Mercules, Kevin Giannis, the Sandbox guys, and the Sandbox team gets it. They're on top of it. They've identified key issues with the game, stuff like bow swapping, flinch resist on snipers, Arbalist and Lorentz being unbalanceable, nerfing stuff like Lord of Wolves, Omnioculus, damage resist. The Sandbox guys are on top of some of the most critical feedback in the game, and they are identifying those problems and working to solve them. Then there's this other half of Bungie that seem to either ignore or not understand PvP, which is why we didn't get any major PvP announcements for Lightfall, or why we went 2 years with no new maps or new game modes, why we went so long without even knowing where the Crucible is going, why competitive has been allowed to languish for 4 years, why stuff like the Flawless Pool has remained in trials despite the constant negative feedback. There's one half of whoever is developing PvP in this game that seemed completely out of touch, and then we have the Sandbox team that's doing good. And I don't know how to reconcile that difference. Okay, I've been negative for 8 minutes. I gotta do what I normally do here and at least give some credit where credit's due. Bungie gave us a complete breakdown of the map weighting in the current Control playlist. I'll put that on the screen now. It was in the TWAB today. Here's the current map weighting. Disjunction and Cathedral of Dusk had increased weighting, but as of today, September 15th, with the hotfix that went live, that is no longer the case. They now have the same weighting as the core map playlist, which that's the rotation of Fragment, Twilight Gap, Rusted Lands, Distant Shore, Endless Vale, Fortress, Radiant Cliffs, Pacifica, Altar of Flame, Jav 4, Widow's Court, Vostok, Eternity. Then there are 5 maps that are reduced weighting, so they don't pop up as often, and that's Bannerfall, Midtown, Exodus Blue, Wormhaven, and Burnout. And then beyond that, significantly reduced weighting is the map The Dead Cliffs. And finally, removed from rotation are Anomaly, Cauldron, and Convergence. To be fair to Bungie, those 3 maps being gone are really good. Convergence, never gonna miss it. Cauldron, don't really care. Anomaly, I actually didn't mind, but I understand why people didn't like it. But at least they made an active effort to alleviate some of the pain points of clitters with this map weighting. Because I agree, Bannerfall, Midtown, Exodus Blue, these maps are not enjoyable to play, so seeing them less often is a good thing. And with Disjunction and Cathedral of Dusk not being as common as of today, that should help alleviate a lot of issues. Now just get rid of the quitter penalty, please, because there's no reason for it to be in the game. Alright, sorry for all the ranty videos lately, guys. It's just been a very tumultuous time in the Crucible, and we're not going to hold back our opinions. We're just going to come full force with it. We have more reviews coming your way, so make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Other than that, we will see you guys soon with another review. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.